Hello everybody, my name is Raccoon Bro, and welcome back to another Death Battle reaction video. And I'm very excited for this one because we are going to be looking at Marvel's Venom versus Soul Eater's Crona and Ragnarok. Soul Eater is a very, very good anime. I very much enjoyed it. I will admit, it's not perfect. There are some things that I would have tweaked, especially that ending, but for the most part, I think it was very good. And Crona and Ragnarok were two of my favorite characters. Like, they had a very funny dynamic, and oh gosh, Crona just, like, you feel so bad for that kid, and you want to see them, like, have a happy ending, and it's very heartwarming seeing them, overcome their just hardships. And I say they because we don't know if they're a boy or a girl. That's kept very ambiguous, but yeah, what are you going to do? And Venom, I am really hoping that we get a good Venom episode because, as I've stated in my Season 4 review, I was very, very disappointed with Venom vs. Bane. It was not a good episode, and it did not do Venom justice, I feel. So I'm really hoping that this episode is able to capture Venom better. And from what I saw in the preview, it seems like they are doing a decent job so far. I really like Sarah Williams. She's a great voice actress. And she played Tifa in the Final Fantasy VII Abridged series. And I am thinking that she's going to be a pretty good match for Kronos. And everyone else sounded pretty good too. The animation looked on point. I have no freaking clue who is going to win this. Because here's the thing, Venom vs. Crona is in a very odd place right now. Because I've heard that Venom got recent buffs, and that are so big, that basically it all comes down to, will Death Battle include those buffs? If they don't, Crona wins. If they do, Venom wins. So at the end of the day, I feel like this episode is really going to all come down to interpretation and personal beliefs. And I am rooting for Crona because, they're a good boy, girl. They're good. They're good. I love them. And Ragnarok is also funny too. But if Venom wins, I think it will probably be because of those strange buffs that I've heard about. Who knows? But I'm stalling at this point. Let's get into the mayhem.
It's always nice to have a best friend attached to your hip, like me and my shotgun leg.
These two take their friends even further than that.
Venom, the lethal symbiote and Spider-Man's best frenemy.
And Crona, the deadly demon sword from Soul Eater.
He's with...
Can I just say, Venom vs. Crona, that is such a more fitting matchup than Venom vs. Bane. I don't know what they were thinking with that fight.
And I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. At the beginning of time, in the faraway reaches of space, the Clintar rose from a living darkness. One of these amorphous symbiotes was Venom.
Who was a freaking loser? Hey, don't look at me. All the goof aliens were saying it. So they kicked the poor slime ball straight off the planet.
In its exile, the symbiote underwent a number of misadventures which firmly shaped its personality. It bonded to a heroic Kree soldier rescuing refugees, a violent monster who committed genocide, and
Jeez.
apparently Deadpool.
Yeah.
Damn, no wonder Venom's so messed up in the head.
Eventually, the symbiote was discovered by Peter Parker.
I'm very
friendly
thankful that
neighborhood Spider-Man.
they're making Deadpool references without the need to have Deadpool make another cameo.
But after finding out it was a confused, raging psychopathic alien, Pete decided to exercise it with the power of Christian Rock.
A wise decision, although ill-timed, as this event would cause
Oh,
the symbiote
because
to
of the
finally
bell.
meet its greatest partner, Edward Brock.
Eddie was a journalist with the unluckiest backstory ever. While trying to uncover the identity of a serial killer, he blamed the wrong guy. The same day he published his article, Spidey caught the real killer.
Uh-oh.
Right next door to the dude Eddie blamed.
Long story short, Eddie was fired from his job, divorced by his wife, and disowned by his father.
Who already blamed Eddie for his wife dying in childbirth.
On top of all of
Jeez.
that, Eddie learned he developed adrenal cancer, with only a few months left to live.
Man, and I thought 2020 was rough.
Yikes.
Don't blame him for becoming a supervillain.
With all hope lost, he begged God to take it all away and got an answer. The symbiote.
Just like Captain Planet, with their powers combined, these two losers became
A super loser.
Well, no, they actually became a horrifying monster with all of Spider-Man's powers and then some.
Their
Jeez.
mutual hatred of Spider-Man caused the symbiote to bond to Eddie like no host ever before. They were perfect, a terror in the night, an unstoppable demon. They were Venom.
It even cured Eddie's cancer.
Sort of, it's complicated.
Apart from Spider-Man's
Sounds like
weapons
Deadpool's
and
cancer.
powers, Venom can use shape-shifting to mold his body into cool doodads. Swords, shields, tendrils, worm monster things, even wings. Yeah, imagine seeing this
God,
guy
that is
flying
so
outside your
scary.
window at
That is
night.
so
Good
scary.
luck sleeping ever again.
Venom can camouflage his entire body, heal severe wounds
He-
like
he does kinda look like
impalement
Spawn.
and limbs, see all around him at once, and psychically project emotions onto others.
Normally, this just makes people feel sorry for themselves, like Wiz on Tinder. But one
Yeah.
time he convinced a bunch of other symbiotes that life was meaningless and they killed themselves. Shit, that's dark.
If desperate, the symbiote can even invade the
Whoa.
bodies of others and make them burst from inside out.
Gross and awesome. But if he doesn't want to pop them like a fun balloon, he can just take over their body like a creepy puppet master.
While attached to a victim, Venom can control them by fusing the symbiote to their nervous system, specifically the brainstem and frontal lobes. Fighting off this mind control is extremely difficult unless you have powers that can directly counter it, such as another symbiote.
Oh god, aliens, tentacles, and mind control? Are we sure this episode is rated E for everyone, or do we need to start blurring stuff?
Oh yeah, I guess this is technically the Halloween episode of the year since it's coming out in October. And I wouldn't be surprised if that symbiote thing comes back in the results. Like, Crona was not going to be affected by it because they already have their own symbiote.
Don't worry, aside from being a horrible mass murderer, Venom's stories are completely wholesome.
Right.
Great.
Venom proved a dangerous thorn in Spider-Man's side and frequently ruined his life. Even taking a page out of my favorite book, The Most Dangerous Game, and hunting him on a private island.
Yeah, he was the coolest rival ever, but over the years, things kind of calmed down a bit. They even teamed up every so often.
See, even with so much anger, Eddie had a legitimate desire to protect others. As a teenager stealing his dad's car, he accidentally ran over and killed a child. Despite his desire to confess, his father forced him to plead innocent and rigged the jury. The guilt has
Shit.
weighed him down ever since. So while Venom does have a hunger for human brains, he'd rather eat the face off a criminal than an innocent person.
Venom's as tough as they come. He survived Ghost Rider's penance stare. He's strong enough to toss a tank hundreds of feet up, and fast enough to take down Spidey 2099, who once caught Mjolnir while it was moving 2,000 times the speed
What?
of sound.
Although Venom does not possess the spider sense that allows Parker to react in microseconds, he can still keep up with all the usual Spidey gallery. Thus, while symbiotes have a severe weakness to high-pitched sound and heat, he's developed resistances to them.
Like when he took this giant explosion, or when he survived a sonic scream from some mutant gremlins that shattered all glass within 10 miles.
While he may be
Jeez.
tougher to take down than most other symbiotes, Venom never fully overcame his weaknesses. However, his symbiotic genes provide far more help than harm. This includes traits and memories from other hosts, like Scorpion and Flash Thompson.
Wait. Bullets are a genetic trait? How do I pass that one?
Venom would certainly need a lot of firepower to survive an encounter with the symbiote god.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Symbiote God.
Symbiotes were seen as a peaceful people. But turns out they were actually living weapons forged by the primordial deity Null in an attempt to conquer the universe.
And I bet next up, Marvel decides they're magic maple syrup people from Asgardian IHOP. Yeah, cosmic sludge made by alien Satan. Let's go with that.
Despite
Oh,
all,
my
Eddie and
head.
the symbiote have proven they're far
It's gonna
more
turn my
than
head to
what
sludge.
Legacy and Clintar were intended for. They've even gained the respect of the Avengers and eventually considered Spider-Man a friend. Sort of. It's complicated.
Eddie really is the best pal Venom could have found. And let's be real, he just looks freaking badass.
Ooh.
Everywhere, even in your nightmares.
Ooh.
In ancient times, a demonic being known as the
So
Kishi
creepy.
ravaged humanity, nearly driving all mankind into the depths of madness. This monster could only be defeated and sealed away.
I love this music. This is cool.
Why is the literal god of death so goofy looking? You ever seen Death Note?
And he has a German accent.
His girlfriend is scarier than this clown.
If you are unfamiliar with the world of Soul Eater, prepare yourself. It's different.
Well, not one in the return of the apocalypse, Death and his oven mitts founded a school, Death Academy.
Here, warriors called Meisters would train to fight evil using the power of their souls.
They even got neat demon weapons that doubled as people. Together, they learned courage, chivalry, unbreakable friendship. You know, all that anime crap.
All that
Morgan
nonsense.
was not one of these students.
Buckle up, it's all Gloomsville from here. Deal with it.
I don't think I know how to deal with this situation.
Throughout
Yeah.
their childhood, Crona was abused.
They said that a lot.
Medusa, a witch obsessed with the legendary Kishi.
You can see where this is going. Anime Uma Thurman was such a fangirl she figured, hey, why don't I make my own Kishin? So she used her child as a guinea pig in a bunch of crazy experiments. You know, it kind of sounds like something you do, Wiz.
Don't be silly. I only use actual guinea pigs. Part of
Totally
Medusa's
different.
experiment included bonding Crona to a weapon, much like the Meisters of Death Academy. However, joining with Ragnarok was a bit more literal.
Ragnarok used to be your run-of-the-mill transforming weapon person until Medusa melted him alive in black blood.
Black blood being another experiment of hers. Crona's own blood is, in fact, this same black blood, which they can remotely control. It can be used to heal wounds and even harden as a sort of internal armor.
Cooking rags in black blood turned him into a brand new weapon that was literally poured into Crona's bloodstream.
From that point on, Crona and
Ugh,
Ragnarok were
it's
two
so
halves
messed
of
up.
the same person. The meek and tortured child firmly attached to their loud and brazen weapon.
And Raggy has that black blood control too. They can yank poor Crona around like a puppet. They can use black blood to create wings, thorny vines, all kinds of weapons, and big-ass needles. Ugh. I hate needles. What's up with that mouth when he transforms into a sword? That thing's messed up.
Like the Meisters, Crona can wield their own soul in combat.
He's got an
Amplified
amp.
by Ragnarok has a technique called scream resonance. Think of it like hooking an electric guitar up to an amp, though more akin to a screeching banshee on LSD.
I didn't know you played.
I don't. It's incredibly powerful, causing internal damage to foes and making Ragnarok vibrate to
His
its
ears are
body.
bleeding.
Hey, are you okay?
What?
With this weapon at their side, Crona set out on a quest to become a Kishi, which required
What did they
a
say?
lot of homicide.
Whoa.
Ragnarok can absorb the souls of dead people, and supposedly enough souls will turn Crona into the Kishin. So they went around slaughtering hundreds of people.
Despite their name, Death Academy wasn't exactly a fan, particularly their star student, Maka Alburn.
Don't worry, she and Crona ended up becoming good friends. Until they weren't. Sort of.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
As a pawn in Medusa's mission, Crona gained several levels of new potential, notably after gaining or absorbing the powers of the monstrous Black Clown, the Demon Tool Brew, and even Ashura, the original Kishi.
All of which increased Crona's abilities, especially the black blood. Now Crona could turn their entire body into goop, and the slightest touch could inflict madness. That's madness with a capital M, by the way.
Oh boy.
Madness is a corruptive effect that causes targeted variants of delusion or obsession, often spread as a wavelength. The wavelength of Crona's mad blood specifically causes violent psychosis.
Crona may be a pawn, but they're a badass. They can cut through a whole ghost ship, cover the moon with sound waves. open the
What?
moon's mouth? What the hell is wrong with that moon?
Crona and Ragnarok have held their own against multiple Death Academy students, including Maka, Death the Kid, and Black Star.
Sometimes all at once.
Kid once flew from Nevada to Egypt in less than a minute, and Black Star is even faster. He's dodged lasers and been tracked moving over 20 kilometers in 6 microseconds while approaching Baba Yaga Castle.
And Crona's been able to make enough mad blood to crush a whole goddamn Ukrainian city.
While this city isn't named, we can use a similar metropolitan area in Ukraine, Kiev, for instance. With this in mind, Crona must have created over 9 trillion tons of black blood, enough to fill over 6 billion Olympic swimming pools.
But Crona's a big leap from invincible. They've had their shit kicked in plenty of times, and their hardened black blood can only block so much.
Even then, Medusa's plan ultimately succeeded. After years of scheming, Crona absorbed the power of Ashura and became a Kishin.
Well, more like Kishin absorbed Crona, but close enough.
But
Wow.
with the power of friendship, Crona ironically wound up defeating the Kishin once and for all. Despite their life being nothing but destruction, Crona was the one who ultimately saved the world.
With an added side effect of a new madness wavelength that made everyone obsessed with boobs. Truly a positive effect on people everywhere.
Just give up. I'm tired
Yeah, I didn't know about any of that stuff. I didn't read the manga.
of trying to figure out how to deal with you.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Okay.
It's time for Death Battle!
I'm gonna go with Crona. Okay, I think Crona will win. It sounds like they have a bit more firepower. I didn't hear anything from them like saying that Venom had something like that. So, and plus, the sound might also help too. So, yeah, I'll go with Crona. I really hope I'm right, because I want Crona to win too.
Hello? I want to be alone.
Hey, pay attention, you turd.
Oh yeah, Ragnarok is voiced by Todoroki from the previous Death Battle.
Lucky day. 2 brains for the price of 1.
I don't think I can handle this right now.
I'm hoping we get something akin to Carnage versus Lucy with the animation. Ooh, it's looking really cool so far.
Your mind is ours.
Oh,
Dinner time.
oh my god. Uh-oh. Use the power of your stand. Use the power of your persona.
He's gone? What is he?
Under your bed, teeth ground sharp, and eyes glowing red.
Oh god, that is so scary. Uh-oh.
Your blood.
I know. It's black.
Uh-oh. And making good use of that 3D background. I'm loving it.
Wake up, stupid!
Good job, Ragnarok. Oh my god! Oh man.
We are the darkness. We are your nightmare. We are Venom.
I hate you.
Yes! Oh, that is scary. Yeah, I got it!
Man, these symbiotes really need to stop picking fights with pink-haired anime characters. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah! I knew that. I told you this was Carnage versus Lucy.
Venom was certainly a tricky opponent. His shape-shifting camouflage and multitude of weapons kept Crona on guard. Unfortunately, Venom lacked the power needed to keep up a prolonged fight.
Yeah, Crona matching Black Star's speed makes for a pretty clear difference. Crona could reach Mach 9,000, while Venom only topped out around Mach 2,000.
And while Venom has shown incredible physical strength that puts Spider-Man to shame, he could never compete with 9 trillion tons of Mad Blood.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That precise control of the Black Blood totally meant Crona could push out any of Venom's attempt at being a puppeteer.
And Crona
Told
showed
ya.
even greater feats of strength as well. Assuming all of the moon's teeth are similar in size and stone, opening this jaw is equivalent to lifting over 10,000 tons.
Of course, the final nail in Eddie's coffin was the fact that half of Crona's arsenal was sound-based, basically Venom's kryptonite.
Somewhat, recall that Venom did gain a notable resistance to sound attacks, so we needed to determine if Crona's sonic waves were great enough to effectively harm him.
You know those gremlins who shattered every window in 10 miles with a screech attack? The symbiote barely survived it, so that's a good high end to look at.
It takes at least 100 decibels to shatter glass normally.
Alright.
To cover that much distance, the combined sonic blast must have equaled about 244 decibels. In contrast,
As we all know, decibels are very
Crona's
weird.
sonic waves must have reached over 275 decibels.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's considering the weird size and shape of the moon. Ugh, just look at that freaky thing.
Sure,
Ugh.
275 doesn't seem that much more than 200.
Remember Black Canary versus
but
Sindel, though.
decibels increase on a logarithmic rate. This means Crona's sound attack was actually over 1,000 times stronger.
Vinny for sure wasn't surviving that.
Eddie and the symbiote held their own with versatility, but Crona and Ragnarok had them beat in destructive power, blistering speed, and an arsenal that could take advantage of Venom's key weakness.
Looks like Venom just got Ragnarok.
Nice.
The winner is Crona.
Thanks for
I'm
watching
so
this
happy
episode.
Crona won.
Come back next week to see previews of our upcoming matchups. If you want to watch more stuff, you can click the boxes right around here.
What's
You can always
next?
pick up some DB merch at store.roosterteeth.com.
Attention, Blue Team! This is the Red Team! We are here to destroy
Sarge?
I got a tank. People with tanks are never outnumbered.
What? Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Yes. Okay. Okay. I know that some people are probably, oh, it's another same series one. They already did the 7 Battle Royale, but I don't care, man. I love Red versus Blue, and they're actually doing Red versus Blue. Oh, that is, I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be the 3D animation. It's gonna be 3D animated. Oh, I'm so excited. And it's probably gonna also be for like Red versus Blue Zero too. So, okay, so back to talking about this episode though. I really liked it. It was great. I think Carnage versus Lucy, I probably like that one a little bit more because, like, it's got more hand-drawn stuff going, and this one had that going too. I feel like I'd have to watch this one a couple more times to really get a grasp on how I feel about it. I feel Venom was definitely, they did him a bit more justice here. He didn't just feel like a Carnage clone, and like those scenes were like legitimately pretty scary too, and I felt this was a much more fitting matchup for him, even if it did seem to be a bit one-sided, question mark? I'm not sure, because I heard stuff about, like, him getting, like, universal feats, but I don't know. I mean, I'd probably have to watch the Q&A to figure it out. It seemed pretty... This one seemed pretty accurate to me. I mean, Crona's got all that sound stuff, and as we all know, decibels are freaking weird when it comes to logarithmic scaling. And the voice actors did a great job. I kind of... I'm upset that Dummy wasn't in the analysis, but so I guess that means that he's a bit more of a recurring host as opposed to a main one. But that whatever. That's they know when they need to have him and when not. I really like the use of the 3D background, the moon looked really awesome, and the way they implemented that, and. So I think, yeah, they did a really good job with this one. I'm very happy that Venom got a return, got his redemption, and we'll see how this one stacks in by the end of the year, where it kind of places. I honestly, that next episode, it might be one of my new favorite episodes. Meta versus Carolina, I love that episode to death. So the fact that they're actually doing Red versus Blue, oh, I'm looking forward to it. Although, I'm very concerned because, you know, Joel Heyman, he's not working at Rooster Teeth anymore, as well as Bernie Burns. So how are they going to do voice acting for that? We'll have to see. So, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all liked the video as much as I did, and be sure to stay tuned for the next video. Take care.